Assalamualaikum and hi. So this is chapter 4, circuit theorem. So for the first one, we learn about superposition theorem. So take a look for this example circuit. The voltage across an element, which is referring to this, or the current flow through an element of a linear circuit containing more than one independent source, which is like this. We have a voltage source, we have a current source, is the algebraic sum the voltage across that element or the current flow through that element due to each independent source that acting alone. Okay, so when we want to do the acting alone source, so all other independent will be turned off or killed. And if the voltage source that are being turned off, so the voltage source are being short circuit. And if current source, it will be open circuit. For the dependent sources, we cannot turn off the source because they are controlled by the circuit variable. Step to apply superposition principle. So the first step is to turn off all independent source except one source, where then we find the output voltage or current due to that active source by using nodal or mesh analysis. And then for the next step, we repeat this first step for each of the other independent sources. And then we find the total contribution where we adding algebraically all the contribution to the independent source. So keep in mind, okay, when we say turn off all other independent source, it means that for the independent voltage source, we replace by a zero, which is a short circuit. For independent current source, we replace by 0 ampere by open circuit. And then for the dependent sources, we left it intact because they are controlled by a circuit variable. Okay, so for the dependent source, we should remain intact, unchanged in the circuit, leave all dependent sources on. And then this technique do not allow us to find power at any separate circuit. So for the superposition theorem, we cannot use to find the power. But in order to find the power either absorbed or supplied by each element, we can obtain only from the final result either voltage or current, and more suitably used when involved with sources of different property or type. Example, we have a different frequency, the mixture of DC and AC. Okay, so take a look for this example 4.1. The circuit with independent source. Use the superposition theorem to find V, this V, in the circuit shown below. Okay, so for the first step to use the superposition, so the first step is we discard the 3 ampere sources. Okay, so 3 ampere is discarded by open the circuit. And then we redraw, we will get this circuit, which is this is where the current sources. So we discard it as an open circuit. And then the second one, we discard the voltage source by short circuit. So this is our our voltage source. So here we want to discard this voltage source by short circuit. So we redraw, we will get this circuit. And for example 4.2, so this is a circuit with independent and dependent sources where use the superposition theorem to find Vx. This is a Vx in the circuit shown below. Okay, so this is a dependent sources. So we should just keep these dependent sources unchanged. And then the first step, we discard the 2 ampere source where this will be an open circuit. So we redraw, we will get this circuit. Okay, and then the next step is we discard the 10 volt by short circuit this voltage source. So we redraw, we will get this circuit.